Also known as the way of walking alone, this is a set of rules made by Miyamoto Musashi, a well-known samurai and expert in sword fighting from Japan. The Dokkodo is a guide to living a good life through self-control, being aware of the present and not getting too attached to things. Before we dive into what the Dokkodo teaches, let's first get a sense of its background. Miyamoto Musashi lived in the 17th century, a period when Japan was often in chaos. He was a ronin, a samurai without a master, who spent a lot of his life traveling and fighting in duels with other fighters. Even though he is remembered as one of the best sword fighters ever, Musashi got tired of fighting and looked for a calmer way of life. This search led him to write the Dokkodo, which he meant as advice for himself and anyone else wanting to live well. The Dokkodo has 21 rules, each giving a different tip on how to live well. Now, let's look at the main ideas of the Dokkodo. Self-discipline. Musashi thought that self-discipline is essential for a good life. Without it, we can easily make bad choices and lose our way. Self-discipline helps us stay on track with our goals and make decisions that match our values. Being fully present and aware of the moment is, according to Musashi, key to a good life. Mindfulness lets us enjoy the beauty around us and the simple things in life. It also helps us understand our thoughts and feelings better, leading to more positive actions. Swordsman and Musashi believe that being too attached to things or outcomes can cause unhappiness. By not clinging to these, we can find peace within and live more satisfying lives. Acceptance. Accepting things as they are is a crucial part of the Dokkodo. Now let's explore the 21 principles in more detail, each offering insight into living a fulfilling life. The first principle, which advocates for accepting everything exactly as it is, highlights the crucial importance of embracing reality in its unadulterated form rather than attempting to impose our own expectations onto it. This approach of acceptance enables us to circumvent the unnecessary frustrations and disappointments that often arise when situations do not align with our preconceived notions. By acknowledging and accepting things as they come, we unlock the potential to identify and leverage the opportunities that exist within any given circumstance, instead of focusing solely on its negative aspects. Embracing acceptance is a potent strategy for cultivating inner peace and contentment. When we commit to accepting everything just as it is, we relinquish our urge to control or alter external conditions. This principle encourages us to view our lives with an open mind and heart, devoid of judgment or predefined expectations. By doing so, we permit ourselves to perceive the world in its true form rather than through the distorted lens of our desires and expectations. Admittedly, achieving a state of complete acceptance is often easier said than done. It can be challenging to release our attachment to specific outcomes or scenarios, particularly when they diverge from our aspirations for our lives. However, through the practice of acceptance, we can develop a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction, irrespective of life's unpredictabilities. Moreover, this practice enables us to appreciate the beauty and marvels of the world around us, even as the second principle advises against the pursuit of pleasure solely for its own sake, illuminating the idea that pleasure should not be the singular aim of our existence. While indulging in life's pleasures, such as savory meals, engaging entertainment, and meaningful companionship, is undeniably important, it is crucial not to let these pleasures overshadow our fundamental goals and values. By steering clear of excessive indulgence, we can preserve a balanced and well-rounded perspective on life. The quest for pleasure, an intrinsic and natural human inclination, can paradoxically lead to discomfort and discontent when it becomes an end in itself. This cycle of constant craving and potential addiction illustrates the pitfalls of chasing pleasure without restraint. Applied is in, this principle advocates for a moderated and discerning approach to pleasure, suggesting that true happiness stems not from external sources, but from an inner state of content. It acknowledges the challenge of eschewing the temptation of immediate satisfaction in favor of developing an enduring sense of fulfillment. Cultivating this deep-seated satisfaction often requires a concerted effort towards self-discipline and moderation. By embracing these practices, we can learn to revel in the simple joys life offers and nurture a more profound sense of well-being and happiness in our lives. The third principle cautions us against relying solely on fleeting emotions or temporary desires when making decisions. It underscores the importance of basing our choices on a comprehensive understanding of both ourselves and the situations we find ourselves in. This approach helps us to steer clear of impulsive or poorly considered decisions that we might end up regretting later on. By encouraging a level of detachment from our emotions, this principle does not mean to suggest that we should suppress or ignore our feeling. Instead, it proposes that we should not become overly attached to particular emotions or states of Adopting an open and receptive attitude towards all life's experiences allows us to achieve a more stable and balanced inner state, one that is not constantly buffeted by the ebbs and flows of emotional turbulence. This principle acknowledges the reality that our emotions are transient and ever-changing, and it teaches us to view them with a perspective of detachment and non-attachment. By doing so, we are better positioned to maintain a sense of inner calm and steadiness, even in the midst of difficult or challenging situations, rather than urging us to become disconnected from our emotions. This principle guides us towards a healthier relationship with them, fostering a deeper sense of peace and stability within ourselves. It's a fourth principle, which advises us to think lightly of ourselves and deeply of the world, fosters a sense of humility and encourages us to refrain from overemphasizing our own significance. By shifting our focus towards the external world, we are invited to appreciate its immense beauty and intricate complexity. This perspective not only enhances our connection to others, but also to the broader forces at play in our lives, enriching our understanding and appreciation of the universe's vastness. Embracing this principle helps us to cultivate a mindset of humility and a genuine openness to the world's wonders. When we minimize the emphasis on our ego and self-importance, we liberate ourselves from their weighty burdens. Delving deeply into the world's mysteries allows us to develop a stronger sense of empathy and connection with those around us. It's important to clarify that this principle does not suggest diminishing our self-worth or ignoring our personal needs. Instead, it promotes an attitude of curiosity and awe towards the world, acknowledging its complexity and grandeur. By adopting this approach, we nurture a deeper sense of humility and gratitude. This, in turn, enables us to forge more meaningful connections with the world and its inhabitants, fostering a richer, more empathetic engagement with the environment and society at large. The fifth principle, advocating for a lifelong detachment from desire, stresses the significance of releasing our grasp on material possessions, power, and other extrinsic ambitions. This detachment is pivotal for discovering inner serenity and leading a life that is truly enriching and rewarding. It redirects our focus towards aspects of life that genuinely enrich our existence, our relationships, our passions, and our journey of personal evolution. Embracing this principle means nurturing a mindset of non-attachment towards our desires and cravings, liberating ourselves from the incessant cycle of longing and dependency that often leads to dissatisfaction and discomfort. By fostering a sense of detachment, we learn to appreciate the joy and satisfaction inherent in the current moment, rather than incessantly seeking fulfillment in the acquisition of external desires. This principle does not imply an abandonment of our aspirations or the cessation of our pursuit of dreams. Instead, it guides us to engage with our desires from a stance of detachment and non-attachment, recognizing the transient nature of such desires and the fact that they are prone to change. Adopting this approach allows us to cultivate a profound sense of inner peace and contentment, even in instances where our external circumstances might not perfectly align with our innermost desires. This principle teaches us the value of finding contentment within ourselves, independent of our external achievements or possessions, and highlights the profound peace that comes from living in alignment with a philosophy of detachment and mindful presence. His sixth principle, advising us not to lament our past actions, serves as a potent reminder of the immutability of the past and the futility of being ensnared by regret over our mistakes or perceived failures. Rather than wallowing in remorse for actions taken, this principle champions the importance of extracting valuable lessons from our experiences and advancing towards the future armed with enhanced wisdom and insight. Regret is an emotion with a formidable capacity to anchor us to our past, obstructing our path forward. This principle guides us to confront our previous decisions and actions with a mindset of acceptance and forgiveness, recognizing that each step taken, whether deemed right or wrong, has been instrumental in shaping our current selves. By adopting this stance, we liberate ourselves from the heavy chains of regret, thereby unlocking the ability to fully engage with and appreciate the present moment. It's crucial to understand that this principle is not an endorsement of overlooking the lessons our past missteps can teach us. Instead, it encourages an approach to our past with detachment and without judgment, acknowledging that we are powerless to alter what has already transpired. This perspective fosters a profound sense of inner peace and acceptance, empowering us to move forward with greater clarity and a defined sense of purpose, ensuring that our past serves not as a hindrance, but as a stepping stone to future endeavors. The seventh principle, which advises against harboring jealousy, underscores the corrosive nature of this emotion and its capacity to foster resentment and bitterness towards others. By nurturing a mindset of equanimity and detachment, we can steer clear of envy and instead channel our energy towards personal growth and self-improvement. Jealousy, with its potent ability to undermine our self-esteem and disrupt our connections with others, serves as a significant barrier to emotional well-being and interpersonal harmony. This principle advocates for engaging with our relationships and social interactions from a place of generosity and non-attachment. It encourages us to acknowledge that each individual is on a distinct path and journey through life, thereby dissolving the seeds of jealousy before they take root. By embracing this outlook, we unburden ourselves from the weight of envy, opening our hearts to the richness and diversity of the human experience. This approach allows us to revel in the world's beauty and complexity without being overshadowed by feelings of inadequacy or discontent. Importantly, this principle does not imply that we should disregard our own needs or the significance of cultivating healthy, supportive relationships. Rather, it suggests that we should interact with others without attachment to judgment or control over their choices and actions. Adopting this attitude fosters a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction, paving the way for more profound and meaningful connections with those around us. By liberating ourselves from jealousy, we not only enhance our own sense of well-being, but also contribute to a more compassionate and understanding world. The eighth principle, which cautions against being overwhelmed by sadness due to separation, serves as a gentle reminder that partings are an inherent aspect of life's ebb and flow. It encourages us not to cling too tightly to people or circumstances, understanding that everything in life is transient. By embracing the impermanence that characterizes our existence, we can achieve a more profound sense of peace and fulfillment, even in the midst of loss or transition. While sorrow is an undeniably natural and human response to separation, it can also become a source of deep-seated suffering if we allow it to consume us. This principle advocates for facing our feelings of grief and sadness with a mindset of detachment and non-attachment, recognizing that our emotions, no matter how intense, are fleeting and will evolve over time, can significantly lighten the emotional load we carry. By adopting this approach, we not only alleviate the heaviness of sorrow, but also open ourselves up to fully experiencing and appreciating the present moment. Importantly, this principle does not suggest that we should ignore our emotional needs or refrain from seeking support during challenging times. Instead, it promotes engaging with our feelings of sorrow and grief with detachment and without judgment, acknowledging these emotions as integral components of the human condition. By doing so, we foster a deeper sense of inner peace and acceptance, enabling us to navigate through life with greater clarity and purpose. This mindset allows us to move forward, not by denying our feelings, but by understanding them as part of a larger, ever-changing tapestry of human experience. The ninth principle underscores the counterproductive nature of harboring resentment or lodging complaints, pointing out the corrosive effect such negativity can have on our psyche, potentially leading us down a path of bitterness and discontent rather than succumbing to the ease of complaining or fostering resentment. This principle urges us to seek out constructive solutions to our dilemmas and to maintain an optimistic stance, even amidst challenging circumstances. Resentment and grievances are potent emotions capable of diminishing our inner tranquility and happiness. This principle champions the practice of engaging with feelings of anger and frustration with detachment and non-attachment. By acknowledging the transient nature of these emotions and their propensity to evolve, we afford ourselves the opportunity to release the weight of resentment and complaints, thus enabling us to wholly embrace the present. It's crucial to note that this principle does not advocate for overlooking the necessity of establishing personal boundaries or confronting injustices. Instead, it suggests navigating our experiences of anger and frustration with detachment and without judgment, recognizing these feelings as an inherent aspect of the human condition. Adopting such a perspective allows us to foster a deeper sense of inner peace and acceptance, empowering us to face challenging situations with enhanced clarity and purpose. This approach not only contributes to our personal well-being, but also facilitates healthier interactions with others, promoting a more understanding and compassionate outlook towards the trials we and those around us may face. The 10th principle advises against being swayed by the intense emotions of lust or love, highlighting the significance of fostering a stance of detachment in our personal relationships. By not allowing ourselves to be overly consumed by our feelings, we can prevent the development of an excessive dependency on others, thereby nurturing our independence and self-sufficiency. Lust and love, while profoundly influential, have the potential to impair our judgment and lead us away from our true path. So this principle advocates for a mindful engagement with feelings of attraction and attachment, adopting a perspective of detachment and non-attachment. Acknowledging the transient nature of these emotions enables us to liberate ourselves from their grip, thus permitting us to live fully in the present. It encourages a balanced approach to our experiences of love and desire, one that is devoid of judgment and acknowledges our inability to control the actions or feelings of others. By practicing this principle, we foster a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment, paving the way for the cultivation of more meaningful and profound connections with those around us. Such an approach allows us to engage with our relationships in a healthier, more balanced manner, enhancing our capacity for genuine intimacy and connection while maintaining a strong sense of self. This perspective ensures that we remain true to ourselves and our journey, even as we navigate the complex terrain of human emotions and relationships. The 11th principle, which advises us to live without clinging to preferences, sheds light on how our predilections are often sculpted by personal biases and limitations. It encourages us to adopt an open-minded and adaptable attitude towards life, enabling us to relish the vast diversity the world offers and to discover joy in the unforeseen and the unfamiliar. While having preferences is an intrinsic aspect of being human, they can also lead us down a path of discontent. This principle promotes an approach to life marked by detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging the transient nature of all things and the inevitability of change. By embracing this mindset, we liberate ourselves from the constraints of our preferences, thus opening ourselves up to fully experience and appreciate the present moment. Importantly, this guidance does not suggest that we should forsake the act of making decisions, nor does it imply that we should discard our values and beliefs. Instead, it champions a perspective of detachment and non-judgment, recognizing that life does not subscribe to a universally right or wrong way of existence. By adhering to this principle, we foster a deeper sense of inner peace and acceptance, navigating life with enhanced clarity and purpose. This approach not only enriches our personal journey, but also allows us to engage more harmoniously with the world around us, appreciating its richness and complexity without the filter of our predetermined likes and dislikes. Principle 12, which advocates for indifference towards our living environment, underscores the importance of fostering a state of inner tranquility and satisfaction, irrespective of our external conditions. By loosening our ties to the physical aspects of our surroundings, we unlock a higher degree of freedom and adaptability in our lives. This principle also emphasizes the value of concentrating on our internal growth and the development of our character, rather than allowing our external situation, such as our place of residence, to dictate our happiness and sense of well-being. This guidance encourages us to view our living circumstances with detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging that true peace and contentment originate from within, not from the material or locational aspects of our lives. It's essential to understand that this principle does not advocate for ignoring the need for a secure and comfortable home. Instead, it promotes an attitude of detachment and non-judgment towards our living conditions, recognizing the transient nature of our external circumstances. By embodying this principle, we can cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and happiness, allowing us to focus our energies on what genuinely matters. This approach helps us to live more fully in the present moment, embracing life's impermanence and the understanding that our external environment does not define our inner state. In doing so, we prioritize personal growth and the cultivation of qualities that contribute to a rich and fulfilling life, beyond the confines of where we reside. Principle 13 cautions us against the relentless pursuit of culinary pleasures, reminding us that while food is an essential and natural part of our existence, it can also become a focal point of attachment and a source of discontent. This principle encourages us to cultivate a relationship with food that is characterized by detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging the transient nature of the pleasure derived from eating. By adopting this mindset, we liberate ourselves from the grip of food-related attachments, enabling us to live more fully in the moment. It's important to clarify that this principle does not suggest we overlook the importance of providing our bodies with nourishment or deny ourselves the enjoyment of delicious food. Instead, it advocates for a balanced and detached approach to our dietary habits, recognizing food as a means to sustain life, not as the ultimate goal of life itself. This perspective allows us to enjoy food without letting it dominate our lives or dictate our happiness. By embracing this principle, we foster a sense of inner peace and satisfaction, approaching our dietary choices in a manner that is both healthy and balanced. This approach not only benefits our physical well-being, but also contributes to our overall contentment by placing food in its proper context. As a valuable but not all-encompassing part of our lives, we're prized to not be fooled by your own mind. This principle teaches us the importance of questioning our own perceptions and beliefs, recognizing that our mind can deceive us. It encourages a practice of self-reflection and critical thinking to avoid falling into the trap of self-deception. Our thoughts and feelings, while valid, are not always accurate reflections of reality. By understanding that our mind can construct narratives and emotions that may not align with the truth, we can cultivate a healthier relationship with our inner selves and This principle warns against the dangers of becoming too attached to our own viewpoints or allowing cognitive biases to dictate our actions and decisions. It prompts us to seek out objective truth and to remain open to new information and perspectives, even when they challenge our preconceived notions. In doing so, we can develop a more nuanced understanding of the world and our place within it. Moreover, Principle 14 emphasizes the value of mindfulness and awareness in recognizing the tricks our mind can play on us. By cultivating a practice of meditation or mindful observation, we can learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without attachment, seeing them as passing phenomena rather than absolute truths. This approach helps us to maintain emotional equilibrium and to make more grounded and informed decisions. In essence, Principle 14 is a call to humility and wisdom, urging us to acknowledge the limits of our understanding and to strive for a deeper, more authentic knowledge of ourselves and the world around us. It is a reminder that true enlightenment comes not from clinging to our beliefs, but from the willingness to question them and to grow beyond them. Principle 15 advises us not to let societal norms and customs unduly influence our actions or dictate the course of our lives. While social conventions play a significant role in shaping our interactions and behaviors, they can also become a source of restriction, preventing us from living authentically and exploring the full spectrum of our experiences. This principle encourages us to engage with life from a standpoint of detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging that there isn't a universally correct way to navigate our existence. So by adopting this mindset, we liberate ourselves from the weight of societal expectations, granting us the freedom to fully immerse ourselves in the present and live in a manner that resonates with our genuine self. This principle does not suggest a disregard for the value of community or an abandonment of our core values and beliefs. Rather, it promotes an approach to life that is detached and free from judgment, empowering us to make choices that are in harmony with our individual essence. By recognizing our autonomy in decision-making, we are able to craft a life that truly reflects who we are, devoid of undue external influence. Embracing this principle enables us to foster a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction. It encourages us to live with greater clarity and purpose, ensuring that our actions and decisions are a true reflection of our personal principles and aspirations, rather than a mere adherence to conventional expectations. This approach not only enriches our own lives, but also contributes to a more diverse and accepting society, where individuality and authenticity are celebrated. Principle 16 emphasizes the importance of freeing oneself from the grips of jealousy and envy. While these emotions are natural aspects of the human experience, they often lead to significant distress and dissatisfaction. This principle advocates for a stance of detachment and non-attachment in our interactions and life experiences, recognizing that the achievements and joy of others do not detract from our own value or happiness. By adopting this approach, we liberate ourselves from the destructive cycle of comparison and envy, enabling us to live more fully in the present moment. It's crucial to understand that this principle does not dissuade us from engaging in healthy competition or from pursuing our personal goals and aspirations. Instead, it encourages us to interact with our ambitions and the successes of others with detachment and without judgment, acknowledging that we possess the autonomy to define our own measures of success, and fulfillment allows us to foster a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction. By embracing this principle, we are guided to engage with our personal and professional relationships in a manner that is both healthy and balanced. This mindset not only enhances our own well-being, but also supports the cultivation of more genuine and supportive connections with others. It teaches us the value of appreciating our own journey and the journeys of those around us without letting feelings of jealousy or envy cloud our perspective or diminish our sense of contentment. Principle 17 highlights the importance of releasing ourselves from the grip of anger and resentment. These intense emotions, while natural, often led to significant distress and upheaval in our lives. This principle guides us to view our emotions through a lens of detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging the transient nature of anger and resentment. By doing so, we liberate ourselves from the clutches of these negative feelings, enabling a fuller appreciation and engagement with the present moment. This guidance does not imply that we should ignore our emotions or forsake our principles of justice and fairness. Instead, it suggests a mindful approach to our emotions, treating them with detachment and without judgment. Recognizing our capacity to choose our responses to challenging situations empowers us to navigate our emotional landscape with grace and resilience. By adhering to this principle, we can foster a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction, managing our emotions in a manner that is both healthy and balanced. This approach allows us to confront and process our feelings effectively, without allowing them to dominate our lives or dictate our actions. It teaches us the value of responding to life's challenges with composure and understanding, cultivating a more harmonious and fulfilling existence. Principle 18 counsels against elevating oneself above others, highlighting the tendency of the human ego to foster a sense of superiority. This principle advocates for engaging with our relationships and life experiences from a place of humility and non-attachment, acknowledging the inherent equality and worth of all individuals. By adopting this stance, we shed the weight of ego-driven perspectives, opening ourselves to more genuine and compassionate interactions. This guidance does not mean we should forego self-respect or diminish our unique identities. Instead, it promotes an attitude of humility and non-judgment towards ourselves and others, recognizing the deep interconnectedness and mutual dependence that define the human experience. Embracing this viewpoint enables us to develop a profound sense of inner peace and satisfaction. By living according to this principle, we foster healthier, more balanced relationships and navigate our experiences with a greater sense of equanimity. This approach not only enhances our personal well-being, but also contributes to a more empathetic and understanding world, where respect and compassion prevail over ego and division. Principle 19 advises against allowing our professional roles or social standing to define our identity. While job titles and status can serve as markers of achievement, they can also lead to dissatisfaction and unease when we attach too much. This principle encourages us to navigate life with detachment and non-attachment, acknowledging that our true value and happiness are not contingent upon our societal position. By embracing this mindset, we liberate ourselves from the constraints of external validation, enabling a more genuine engagement with the present. This guidance does not imply that we should eschew ambition or disregard our aspirations and sense of direction. Instead, it promotes an approach to our life's pursuits and achievements with detachment and without judgment, recognizing that our inherent worth is rooted in our qualities and character, not our societal roles. Adopting this perspective allows us to foster a deeper sense of inner peace and satisfaction, ensuring that our self-esteem and contentment are derived from who we are rather than what we do. This balanced approach to life encourages us to pursue our goals with passion and purpose, while also maintaining a healthy perspective on the transient nature of professional and social status. Principle 20 addresses the common preoccupation with extending our lifespan, driven by the fear of death and the tenacious grip on life as if it were our sole purpose. This principle suggests embracing our mortality with a mindset of acceptance and non-attachment, understanding that death is a natural and unavoidable aspect of the human condition. By adopting this perspective, we are encouraged not to fixate on the length of our lives, but to focus on the quality and depth of our living experiences. Importantly, this principle does not advocate for a disregard of our health or a rejection of our instinctual drive for self-preservation. Instead, it promotes a balanced and accepting approach to our mortality, recognizing the finite nature of our existence without succumbing to fear or denial. This acceptance allows us to live more fully, appreciating each moment as precious and imbuing our daily actions with a sense of purpose and gratitude. By integrating this understanding into our lives, we foster a greater sense of inner peace and contentment, enabling us to navigate our journey with grace and composure. This approach ensures that we cherish and make the most of our time, not in a frantic race against mortality, but in a deliberate and mindful celebration of the life we have, however long it may be. Principle 21, do not stray from the path, encapsulates a fundamental ethos of unwavering dedication to one's values and objectives, advocating for a life led with integrity and focus. This principle serves as a culmination of the preceding guidelines, reinforcing the importance of adhering steadfastly to our core principles and aspirations. It urges us to navigate through life's myriad distractions and temptations without losing sight of our true direction, ensuring that our actions are always aligned with our deepest convictions. By fostering detachment, self-awareness, and a serene inner state, we equip ourselves with the tools necessary to remain anchored to our goals, even when confronted by the inevitable obstacles and adversities life presents. This principle acknowledges the inherent challenges in maintaining such focus and discipline, recognizing that the journey is replete with factors that might divert us from our chosen path. Committing to this principle means more than just avoiding external distractions. It involves a deep introspective commitment to personal growth and the pursuit of a life that reflects our true selves and values. It calls for a conscious effort to cultivate resilience and a clear sense of purpose, enabling us to move forward with confidence and determination, regardless of the complexities that may arise. In embodying this principle, we affirm our dedication to a life of purpose, guided by the unwavering pursuit of our authentic path. By wholeheartedly adopting the principles of the Dokkodo and committing ourselves to aligning closely with our values and principles, we position ourselves to remain dedicated to our path, thereby unlocking the success and fulfillment we aspire to. The Dokkodo, or the way of walking alone, presents a profound and timeless framework for leading a life rich in meaning and satisfaction. Initially crafted for the samurai class, its teachings transcend social and historical boundaries, offering valuable guidance to individuals from all walks of life and backgrounds. The essence of the Dokkodo lies in embracing life with detachment and non-attachment, recognizing that the relentless pursuit of external achievements and happiness often leads us away from our true selves. By fostering a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment, we are better equipped to engage with our relationships and life's experiences in a manner that is both healthy and balanced, discovering genuine fulfillment in the immediacy of the present. Embarking on the path outlined by the Dokkodo is by no means a simple endeavor. It demands considerable self-discipline and introspection. Yet, by integrating these principles into our daily lives and striving to live in harmony with them, we unlock our inherent potential and embark on a journey toward a life of profound meaning and purpose. The journey of adhering to the Dokkodo's teachings enriches our existence, guiding us to live authentically and purposefully amidst the complexities and challenges of the human experience.